What's going on, guys? Tom MC here, and today we're going to start our first episode of Building School. I'm going to teach you how to build stuff basically, and what to do while building. So let's get into start. For this episode, I'm going to focus on 3 main subjects. Number 1 is the shape, number 2 is the block palette, and number 3 is roofing. So I'm just going to build a quick house. It's going to be really simple, and I'm going to show you how to upgrade it. So here's our really simple house, right? So first off, we're going to look at shape. So as you can see, when you go inside and it's 2 blocks high, you can't even jump. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to raise your roof up at least so you have room to jump in there. And yeah, let's go do that. So now that our house is finally at least like 3 blocks high, we can now start by like adding some framing in, right? So for the shape of your house, you're going to want to get some more detail in, and as you can see, we're only using 1 block and we've not really got a frame. So if you were to like put like a border of like oak logs around your house, you can just add that extra bit of like detail, if you know what I mean. This can make the shape of the house look a bit better. So I'm just going to finish this off by doing all the corners. And this will help it so it's easier to add outside detail, which we will be covering in our next video. So we've done this, so make sure that you've done this. Yeah, I don't know why I've just paused there. Okay. Alright, so as you can see now, our house, it's pretty square. It is very square. So what I advise you to do is if I can find out logs, just like make it a bit of shape it, like do whatever you want with it. I'm going to quickly do a time lapse where I just do some random shapes and it can look quite nice. Let's go. Okay guys, so what I've done, we've added like loads of different shapes onto it, and you can just see the depth that it adds to the build. It looks really nice. See, I'm not going to be adding windows this episode since that isn't on our list of things to do this episode really. So let's get onto a second floor and I can show you a nice design that you can do to just make your build look a lot better. You see, if you do something where, let me just grab some oak again, okay. If you do something where you add like stairs at the edge of your house, I've found. Let me just quickly wrap this around the whole house so the design can go around. You can basically get, I'm just going to So when you've done this, you can do something like this where it extends out like that, and it can just add like that extra layer of depth to your build. I'm just going to quickly fill this out at the top, just copying it all out, and I'll just... Okay guys, so that's second story done. You can tell that the depth in this build looks really nice. So I think it's about time to get onto roofing. Let's go. Okay. So for our roof, you're gonna really want to like get a different block from the walls or something, which is basically hinging towards block pallets. So you could either go for like a different type of wood or a different type of material together. For example, stone bricks, which is what we're going to use here. So there are a lot of different ways you can do your roofs. I'm gonna do this simple design, but I'll show you some other designs and some other houses. So let me just quickly cut into this design. So for the first design, we've just done a usual spiral around the whole build. It is kind of difficult to do this since it is quite a large build with loads of little corners. So next I'm going to show you a different design on a different build. But before I do that, I need to show you something. So better than, like if you leave it like that, a build looks a bit incomplete, so if you just hang it over the top, it can make it look a lot better. And another tip is, if you wanted to make your house a bit more like rustic or like old, you can interpret some of like the mossy brick and stuff. I haven't used this one because simply I do not have time. But yeah, if you want to make your old house like look old, then there you go. But I'm gonna make a different house now, not as big, but just a little bit of a shape, and show you a different design. Let's go. Okay, so for this house I've made like a bit of a just like a slanted roof. Instead of like the spiral, I've done like a, but it goes up and down, like a bit of like a triangle. But a way to up level this is obviously make your stairway and stuff stick out one block, so you are able to just put, it just adds more depth to it really. So when you do like that, I also have another trick up my sleeve. Both my sleeves actually. So as you can see, adding upside down stairs just makes it look multiple times better. So I'm just add it to the other side. So you see places here where you can't really add it, it'd be quite difficult, but I found that just putting it upside down like that can just make it look nice. Just finish off that, and there you go. But there is also another way. I'm just going to cut to it right now, be 1 minute. So what we've done is we've basically done a stair, then a block, then a stair, then a block, then a stair, and a block. Sometimes you can make the roof a little bit top heavy, but it ultimately makes quite good design. So let's get on to the final topic, which is, actually, let's not go into that yet, because I just remembered something. So there's a way to make a bit of like a, don't know what you call it, because, you know, right, but if you were to go to the middle of your house, or just somewhere, punch out a couple of stairs or something, you can, this isn't the best looking one, but you can make a sort of sticky outy area. That's the scientific term for it, a sticky outy area. Obviously, you know, scientifically. Basically what it does, it just adds some detail to the build, basically makes it look a lot better. And with the building style that we've learnt, we can design it a little bit to make it look a lot better. Basically ultimately just adds to the build, and as you can see here, doesn't that look a lot better? Like, obviously it might be a bit, I might have to make it a little bit maybe not add the accent blocks for this one. Yeah, that just looks quite a lot better, doesn't it? And then you can add a window there, but obviously we're not doing that until next episode. But let's go on to the final one, which is block palette. See, block palette can be quite important, especially when you're building like in different biomes. Obviously in this one I've used mainly wood and stone, because I think these quite go together. But if you're using, like, sometimes you have to be careful with the blocks you use. Like, some blocks that don't go together, for example, or like wooden quartz, you can't just do like, sometimes, and that's like quite rarely, it can work out, but it just, this quartz kind of like I feel like it sticks out too much. So now I'm going to just teach you like a way to interpret some different block palettes. I'll just show you something. So I'm just going to do a time lapse of this, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, with that done, as you can see, I've added like a little bit of a layer below this, and the stone brick goes really well with the wood. It just adds that extra depth to it. It looks really nice. And now I'm just to show you just what blocks to use in different biomes. So basically, some blocks just don't work in some biomes. For example, if you're working in like, I don't know, a spruce biome, you're not going to want to use blocks like sandstone. But if you're in like a desert, you probably would. If you're working like an oak biome, probably the oak logs and maybe some spruce and stone bricks, like probably a house similar to this, or in block palette sense. And then maybe desert, obviously desert blocks, like sandstone, like terracotta can also be nice in it. Black stone can also quite fit it, I don't know why, but I think it looks quite nice. And then also, if you're using like an ocean, like a futuristic build can be quite nice, like quartz and like lodestones can quite match it. And I feel like dark oak also works for like a flooring in a futuristic build. Don't know why, it looks quite nice. But anyway, that basically concludes this episode. If you want to see more of this, then just like the video. Go on. Anyway, see you next one. Bye.